Hello friends, welcome to the session on discrete mathematics. In this session, we'll be discussing about mathematical logic. In this session, we will see what we mean by mathematical logic, what are the different logical connectives for the propositions. We will see the truth values for a proposition, and we will also see the various identities or laws of the mathematical logic. Also, we will see the concept of tautology, contradiction, and contingency. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the various topics of the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by logic of statements. Friends, in daily lives, you will find that we always make the use of the logic to perform any action. Say, for example, I am recording this video, and the logic behind the recording of this video is that the students must be able to learn online by viewing this video. In real life, whenever we perform any action, then there is always a certain logic behind it. So for example, we have been given a certain statements, such as the first statement is, if today is Monday, then Mr. X gets rupees 5. The statement 2 is today is Monday, and therefore we can draw the conclusion that Mr. X will get rupees 5. So such a argument is being called as a valid argument. But the same will not be the case, or it is possible that you may draw the different conclusions from the same set of statements. Say, for example, if the statement 1 is today is Monday and Mr. X gets rupees 5, statement 2 is Mr. X gets rupees 5, and therefore, if somebody draws a conclusion that today is Monday, then it will be an invalid argument. Another possibility is that if today is Monday, then Mr. X gets rupees 5. The statement 2 is today is Tuesday. And therefore, if somebody draws the conclusion that Mr. X gets rupees 5, then it is also an invalid argument. Also, another possibility is that if the statement 1 is today is Monday, then Mr. X gets rupees 5. Statement 2 is today is Tuesday. And therefore, if somebody draws a conclusion, Mr. X does not get rupees 5, then this is also an invalid argument. So whenever you want to check whether the argument is valid or invalid, then in order to decide this, you need to make the use of the logic. Logic is used to differentiate between valid and invalid arguments. In real life, we always need to make the use of the logic, and in programming also, we need to make the use of the logic to solve certain problem. So whenever we write a program for any real life problem, then actually what we are doing is that we are implementing the logic behind the solution of the problem. An argument, you can say, is a set of statements, and it has two parts. The first part is being called as the set of premises, and the second part is being called as a conclusion. So in this example, you can say that the statement 1 and statement 2 is the set of premises, and the third statement can be a conclusion. A simple statement is also called as a proposition, or sometimes it is called as an expression, or it is also called as a formula. So a simple statement or proposition is an expression that is either false or true, but not the both. So whenever we consider any simple statement, then that will be either a true or it will be false, but it is not possible that it will be both true and false at the same time. So when the simple statements are connected together by making the use of the words such as not, and, or, implies, if and only if, then it will form a more complex form of the statement, and such a statement is being called as a compound statement. So these words are being called as the logical connectives. So and, or, not, implies, if and only if, exclusive or, these are the common logical connectives that are being used for the formation of the compound statement. So let us understand what these logical connectives are. So the first logical connective is called as the AND. It is also called as conjunction. The symbol used is the upgoing arrow. Whenever we write P and Q, then it will return a true value only if both P and Q are true. The second logical connective is the OR. The symbol for this is V, and it is called as a disjunction. And whenever we write P or Q, then it will return a true when P is true or Q is true or both are true. That is, it will return a false only when both are false. The negation will return opposite to that of the input. That is, if P is true, then the negation of P will be false. If the P is false, then the negation of the P will be true. Another operation or connective that is being used is the logical exclusive OR, where exclusive OR is being indicated by plus and circle, and this will give the true value only when P and Q are different. That is, if P is true and Q is false, then it will return a true value, or P is false and Q is true, then it will return a true value, but otherwise it will return a false value. Implication is being indicated by an arrow. P implies Q. It is just nothing but if P happens, then Q happens. Double implication is being indicated by a double arrow, and its meaning is that P happens if and only if Q happens. So let us understand what we mean by the truth values and the truth table. A simple statement is a statement which can be either true or false, but it will not have both the values at the same time. So whenever we want to indicate the true value, we make the use of the symbol T. And whenever we want to indicate the false value, we will make the use of the character F. So you can say that the true and false are the truth values of the statement. So every statement will have the truth values, two truth values, either true or false. And you can say that the truth table is a table that will show all possible truth values for a compound statement. So whenever we take a simple statement or a proposition, then it will have a true or false value. But whenever we take a compound statement where two or more simple statements are connected together by the logical connectives, in such a case, there are different possibilities of the truth values of the different variables that are used, and therefore the table which shows all possible such values, truth values for a compound statement, is being called as a truth table. Say for example, here we have written the truth table for the negation operation. So when the P is true, the negation of P is false. When P is false, the negation of P is true. Or we have written the truth table for P and Q. And here you will find that when P and Q are true, the value is true. And when any one of them is false or both of them is false, then the value is false. Here it is a truth table for P or Q. Here one can easily observe that this will give the true result for the first three cases, that when P or Q is true or both are true. Only in the last case, when both are false, then the result is false. So one can easily observe that in a compound statement, if there are two variables, then there are four possibilities. In a compound statement, if there is one variable, then there are two possibilities. In a compound statement, if there are three variables, then there are eight possibilities. Similarly, we can give the truth table for the operation P implies Q. So if P is true, Q is true, then it will return a true value. If P is true and Q is false, then it will return a false value. If P is false and Q is true, then it will P implies Q will return a true value. And if both are false, in that case also, the P implies Q will return a true value. The double implication, if and only if, will return a true value when both are true, and it will return a false value when any one of them is false, and again it will return a true value when both are false. Similarly, we can consider another example where there are three variables P, Q, and R, and now suppose we want to compute the value for Q and R and then we want to compute the truth value for P or Q and R. Then in this case, one can easily observe, since there are three variables involved, and therefore the number of possibilities or the number of rows in the truth table are 8. And therefore, one can easily observe that when Q or R, either one of them or both of them are false, then Q and R will return a false value. It will return a true value only when both of them are true, and otherwise it will return a false value. And whenever we perform the P or Q and R, that is the first column and the fourth column, the OR operation, then in that case, one can easily observe that the result will be false only when both of the columns are false. Therefore, here we will get false, but here we will get the true result. Now, let us understand what we mean by logical equivalence. The two propositions or two statements A and B are said to be logically equivalent if they have the same truth value under any truth assignment. That is, when A and B are logically equivalent, then we make the use of this symbol: A is logically equivalent to B. Now, in order to prove the logical equivalence of the different propositions or compound statements, it is necessary for us to construct the truth table. And whenever we construct the truth table, then by constructing the truth table, we can show the logical equivalence between the two propositions. So for example, if we consider the propositions such as P implies Q, and we want to check whether it is logically equivalent to and Q implies and P. Sorry, not Q implies not P. Then in that case, one can easily observe that we can prepare a truth table where it will consist of 4 rows. And therefore, we can find that true will give a result true for P implies Q, true false will give a result false, false true will give a result true, and false will give a result true for P implies Q. Now, when you take the negation of Q, the true means false, false, and implies negation of P, then again you will find that when you prepare this column, then this column will also consist of the same values. And therefore, one can easily say that both are logically equivalent. So both the propositions are logically equivalent from the truth table because all the 4 possible values are same for both the propositions. But you will find that if the proposition contain many variables, so for example, if the proposition contain 2 variables, then you need to construct a truth table consisting of 4 rows. If the proposition contains 3 variables, then you need to construct a truth table of 8 rows. And if the proposition contain more than that variables, then the truth table will consist of many more rows. And therefore, sometimes it is time consuming to construct the truth table. In such a case, you can make the use of the method to prove the logical equivalence. So the first method is that you can say A is logically equivalent to B if and only if A is true, B is true, and whenever B is true, A is also true. Another method that can be used to prove the logical equivalence between A and B is that if and only if whenever A is false, B is false, and whenever B is false, A is also false. So by making the use of these two methods, you can also prove the logical equivalence between the propositions. So there are different identities or logical equivalence laws that are being used in mathematical logic. Say, for example, the first law is being called as an identity law, which gives the equivalence that P and true is always equal to P. Or you can say that P or false will give the P itself. So that is being called as an identity. Then we have a domination laws such as P or true is always equal to true and P and false is always equal to false. There are certain other laws such as P or P is always equal to P logically, and P is also logically equivalent to P. Negation of P is logically equivalent to P. So double negation is equal to the same variable. Commutative laws will allow us to change the position of the variables for and or operation. So P or Q is logically equivalent to Q or P. P and Q is logically equivalent to Q and P. Associative laws will allow us to change the grouping of the variables. So when we group P or Q and then we perform the OR operation with R, it is the same as P or Q or OR. So that is the association of P and Q or association of Q and R will give the same result. The same is being valid for the AND operation also. There are distributive laws where we can say that the and or operation are distributed, and therefore we can write the law such as P or Q and R is equal to P or Q and P or R. We can also write P and Q or R is logically equivalent to P and Q or P and R. There are De Morgan's laws, and De Morgan's laws state us that the negation of P and Q is equal to negation of P or negation of Q. And the second De Morgan's law states that the negation of P or Q is logically equivalent to negation of P and negation of Q. There are certain other laws such as absorption laws where P or P and Q is logically equivalent to P and P and P or Q is logically equivalent to P, or negation laws such as P or not Q is equal to true and P and not P is equal to false. So it is also possible that you can prove all of these laws by constructing the truth tables. So for example, if I want to prove the first identity that P and true is always equal to P, then what I will do, I will consider the two possible values for P. Suppose the first value is false, then false and true is false, which is the same as P. I will consider another possibility of P that is true. If P is true, then true and true is true, which is equal to P. And therefore, we can say that the first identity is proved. By using the same method, it is possible that all these identities or logical equivalences or laws of the mathematical logic can be proved by constructing the truth table. Now let us understand what we mean by tautology, contradiction, and contingency. A tautology, you can say that is a proposition or it is a formula which takes the truth value T for each assignment. That is, whenever you have been given certain proposition, and if you find that all possible logical values, if the formula returns you only a true value, then that is being called as a tautology. Say, for example, when we consider the proposition such as P implies Q or Q implies P, then that is a tautology. Because if you construct the truth table for this proposition, then you will find that for every possible values of P and Q, you will get the result true. And therefore, you can say that this is a tautology. A contradiction, you can say, is a formula which will take the truth value F for each assignment. So whenever you have been given certain proposition or a formula, and if you check the truth value for this proposition, and if you find that it is a false for all possible assignment, then the formula can be called as a contradiction. Say, for example, when we give the proposition such as P and negation of P, then this is being called as a contradiction. Say, for example, if you check over here, then the possible values of P is true and false, its negation is false and true. And when you take the AND operation, then in both the cases, you will get the result as a false. And therefore, you can say that this proposition is a contradiction. A proposition that is neither a tautology nor a contradiction is being called as a contingency. So one can easily observe that this P or negation of P is a kind of contingency. When you take the example of P or negation of P, then that is a tautology, because every time you are getting the true value, and P and negation of P will always return you a false value. and therefore it is being called as a contradiction. So from this example, one can easily observe that P is a contingency or negation of P is also a contingency. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by logic and what are the different logical propositions or logical connectives and how to check the truth values of the different logical laws. Thank you all for viewing the session.